If you're a subject matter expert in a highly complicated, technical, or specific space, and you want to create content on a regular basis to build up authority, credibility, and to be seen as a thought leader, but the idea that seems impossible with your current bandwidth and time, this is for you. We literally deal with this problem every single day with our clients. Most of our clients are subject matter experts in really niche spaces, complicated offerings, technical industries, and they know content creation is really important and they want to be doing it. The problem is they also understand that the content they want to create needs to come from their brain. It's not something they can just send somebody out to research or to outsource. It really needs to come from them. So then they feel like this is going to take a ton of my time. Like, I know this is important and I know I need help doing it, but I also can't commit to a ton of time, but it has to come from me. So what do we do? What's the solution? While there are a lot of options for people who are in this situation, there are two that I think are really sustainable and approachable. First, you need to determine if you're going to be able to handle this internally, if your team can help you with the resources you guys already have, or if you're going to need to explore an outside content marketing team. If you already have the internal resources, this becomes really simple and really easy. Here is the methodology and the formula that I would use on a monthly basis to get tons of great content out of your brain over to them and take very little of your time. Carve out 30 minutes a week on your schedule wherever it permits. Whatever day is easiest for you, go ahead and carve out 30 minutes where you're going to do brain dumps. That's going to include either writing down ideas that you had, jotting down thoughts about stories you've seen in your industry that are hot topics. You can also record yourself talking. You can film yourself during this time. You could have a recorded conversation with a colleague or someone on your team, and your team can then use that to chop it up to create audio content, video content, anything like that. But essentially, you set aside 30 minutes per week. You dump out all your thoughts, all your thought leadership, all your subject matter expertise, and then hand that over to your internal team, and they can then turn that into a powerful content strategy to make sure all the thought leadership content coming out on behalf of you as an individual and your company is truly valuable and helpful to the audience. Now, the internal approach does mean you're going to have to be a little bit more of a self-starter in terms of topics, idea generation, things like that. When you have an outsourced team, that also gets taken off of your plate, which means you're going to have to spend even less time doing things like that. For instance, with our thought leaders, we don't ask them to commit any more than 30 minutes to an hour per month on sitting down with us to interview, to do recordings, to have conversations. Some of our clients prefer actually to write, and they like to fill in bullet points. They like to fill in questionnaires. We have a lot of different methods that we do this, but we actually go ahead and give them the ideas, the topics, based on conversations we previously had, based on our research in the industry and the space, and we actually outline the entire process for them, so they literally all they have to do is dump out their ideas. If you go internal, you're going to have to structure that a little bit more for yourself, or your internal team will have to do that for you. When you outsource to a team, you can really spend all of your energy just providing the information, the thought leadership, your ideas, your opinions on those different subjects. You don't even have to necessarily spend the bandwidth and the time to come up with what it's going to be, because you'll have people who are leading you in that direction based on their research and the topics that you've been discussing thus far. Either scenario can work great. It really depends on your business, your budget, your resources, things like that. But ultimately, it really boils down to just carving out a little bit of time per week or month to get all of that subject matter expertise out of your brain and into some kind of recording on a page of some kind in some sort of formal documentation where a content creator, your marketing team, whoever you're working with can then take that and turn that into all kinds of different information, content, and they can distribute it on your behalf. Once you get rolling with a content marketing strategy and this method, whether you're internal or external, you really shouldn't be spending more than a few hours a month on this at the absolute max. So if you feel like you can at least plug in 30 minutes to an hour per week, you can absolutely create ongoing content. If you have any questions, I'd love to help. Share them below.